All right, today we're jumping into something big, a really fundamental shift happening in the world of SEO. It's called Agentic SEO, and it's all about how AI is completely rewriting the rules for getting found online. So let's get right into it. So let's just kick things off with a pretty wild question, but one that really gets to the core of this whole thing. What if getting that #1 spot on Google, the thing we've all been fighting for, suddenly meant nothing? Or at least not what it used to. It sounds a little crazy, I know, but it's the new reality we have to face. And here's why. It all comes down to AI overviews. You know, those direct answers Google now puts right at the top of the page. In this new world, the old connection between being seen and actually getting a click is, well, it's breaking. You can be right there at the top, totally visible, but it doesn't mean anyone is actually going to visit your site. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? Classic ranking no longer equals classic traffic. The math we've relied on for years is just broken. And this is the problem, the central challenge, that the old SEO playbook just wasn't designed to handle. Okay, so let's dig into that a little more. Let's talk about why the old way of doing things, the manual project-by-project SEO work, just can't keep up anymore. This chart really paints the picture, right? A huge piece of the pie, that top real estate on the search results page, is now taken up by an AI overview that answers the question right then and there. This is what's driving what people are calling zero-click searches. And it's not just theory. Companies like Sear Interactive are already reporting some major drops in click-through rates whenever these AI answers show up. The game has just completely changed. So if the old way is broken, what's the fix? Well, this is where this new idea comes into play. Agentic SEO. Agentic SEO isn't just another tactic. It's a whole new operating system for your website. Think of it like an always-on, 24/7 loop where these little autonomous software agents are constantly monitoring what's happening, making improvements, and then, this is key, checking to see if those improvements actually worked. And all of this happens with a human being steering the ship, setting the rules, and managing the risks. Now, we need to be super clear about this next part. Agentic SEO is absolutely not about just using AI to churn out thousands of mediocre blog posts, not all at all. It's about building a solid, engineering-level system for continuous discoverability, a system that's smart enough to manage the technical stuff just as well as the content stuff. And this is the engine that drives the whole thing. It's this simple but powerful 4-step loop that just runs on repeat. The agents observe what's going on, maybe a new trend, maybe a broken link. They decide the best way to respond based on the rules you gave them. They act on that decision. And then, crucially, they verify that their action actually did what it was supposed to. This isn't a once-a-quarter thing. It's happening constantly. Okay, so that's the theory. But how does this system actually work in the real world? The best way to think about it is that you're building a kind of digital immune system for your website. And here's the most important part. This is not about just letting a bunch of bots run wild and hoping for the best. No way. It's about creating what's called a control plane, basically your governance layer. That means you set clear goals, you figure out the risk of any given change, you require a human to sign off on the big stuff, and, so important, you have a rollback plan in case something goes wrong. This is what separates smart automation from, accidentally blowing up your own website. And here's a great example of that in action, this idea of self-healing SEO. You can let the agents automatically fix low-risk stuff that happens all the time, like broken internal links, or something called schema drift, which is just when your site's structured data gets a little out of date. But for the really high-stakes changes, like messing with your URL structure, the system puts up a gate and waits for a human to say go. It's all about matching the right level of automation to the right level of risk. Okay, this slide right here, this is the aha moment. It lays it all out side by side. Look at the difference. We're going from monthly reports to a daily, continuous rhythm. We're shifting our focus from just those 10 blue links to getting cited in the AI overview. And our main KPI, it's not just about rank anymore. It's about citation share. This one visual captures the entire paradigm shift we're talking about. So now that we get the system, let's switch gears and talk strategy. How do you actually make content that these AI overviews are going to want to pick and feature? The new goal has a new name, and it's called selection engineering. I love that term because it's so specific. You're not trying to rank in the overview anymore, you're trying to get selected for it. And to do that, your content has to look safe, easy for an AI to summarize, or compressible, and, most of all, verifiable. So how do you do that? How do you build for selection? Well, you start making what we can call a citation-ready page. It starts with having a really tight, easy-to-grab answer right up top. It means being super clear about the entities, the people, places, and concepts you're talking about, and it means you package your evidence in ways that AI loves, like tables and checklists, because they're structured and easy to trust. All right, this all sounds really good, but let's be real. Where do you even start? Let's break it down into a practical step-by-step action plan. Here's a blueprint that feels totally doable. For the first 30 days, you don't do anything drastic. You just build observability. You start tracking everything so you can see what's going on. Then, for the next 30 days, you can start automating those safe, low-risk fixes we talked about. And only after that, in the final month, do you start scaling up and creating those new citation-ready assets, step by step. And as you're doing all this, the way you measure success has got to change too. You have to stop obsessing over just click-through rates. The new KPI stack is all about things like citation share. How often is your brand the source? And assisted conversions, which is a smart way of acknowledging that being mentioned in an AI overview can lead to a sale down the road. So what's the bottom line here? Agentic SEO isn't just another buzzword. It's a real shift that is going to create a huge gap between the winners and the losers online. The teams that embrace this engineering mindset, the ones who build strong governance and really focus on being a credible source, they're the ones who are going to win in this new era. And that leaves us with one last really important question for you to think about. Looking ahead, are you still just optimizing for clicks, or are you starting to optimize for selection? Because in this new world, selection is the new front door. The clicks, they're just the bonus you get when you've already won. Thanks for tuning in.